Now, you finish and understand the scope of the project. The very first message you want to send to your client is to get their email, their business name, and everything that can help you to reach out to them in terms of contacting them. So if you have done that, then the next thing you want to do is to send out your contract. Now, this contract is to protect you and also your clients. And this helps you to answer those questions that usually go to design group or design community to ask. And what are those questions? I've been working on this project and this client is going back and forth. I want to refund back their money. Should I refund everything? Or am I not to refund them? Can I terminate this project? Oh, this person seems to be doubting me. What can I do? And the list goes on. Or you fall sick and you are unable to meet up with the deadline. How do you handle that? All of that are to be taken care of with your contract. More so, sometimes you finish on a particular project and some of the ideas or design choice that you present to them that they did not approve, if you use it for another client, then some clients might want to sue you for using their project for somebody else. How do you take care of that? Your contract is going to help you to secure and protect you on all of this. So how do you construct your contract? Very easy. Very first page of your of your contract is to cover the following item: your client's name, your business name, industry, project scope, and date. If you can have that at the very first page of your contract, then the second page of your contract is to talk about the project scope and costing. So when you put the project cost and also the scope of the project in this particular page, then the next thing you want to have is the payment terms. How do you want them to pay? To what account? In what manner? What percentage are they paying from? Are they paying everything or not? But here I need to point out something. Designers can be greedy. And what I mean greedy, some designer will say they want to have 100% of their money before they start the project. The same way you are afraid of losing your money is the same way your clients are also afraid of losing their money. So they want to just take a risk by paying you upfront. Otherwise, they would have said you finish the project before they pay you. So the same way they are taking gambling on you to trust you that you're not going to run away with their money, you also need to take the same gambling on them to trust them that you're going to give you your balance. However, I got you, and now you're going to get your money completely. So how do you do that? You can just start with taking a percentage, usually minimum of 50%. So if you collect that, then the remaining 50%, don't wait till the project finish before you get it. Split it into two. And when you submit the strategy document, which we are still going to be talking about, when you present it to them, before you proceed to the next stage, you have to send them another invoice to collect 25%. And when the project finishes, before you hand them over with the whole of the document, you take the remaining 25%. Or if you are the type that you want to do it 70-30, so that means you collect 70% upfront. When you present the strategy document, then you collect 15%. And at the end of the project, you take the remaining 15% before giving them their entire document or giving them the right of ownership. So this is to be discussed under the payment terms. So after the payment terms, the next thing is the project direction. So if you are looking at something, at the end of this class, I'm going to tell you something to note in this contract. So the project duration is the next thing you want to talk about. After your project duration, that is, okay, from the first phase of the project, it's going to be the strategy session, and it's going to take us so weeks. And the second is the research and mind mapping, or so, depending on how you want to go on with your project. But the way we structure this is that the first phase is for your strategy session, which also include the discovery part of your project. Then the second thing is the research and mind mapping. And the third phase is mood board and sketching. And the fourth phase is the vectorization and presentation. So that means the duration of this particular project is split into 4. So each of these stages, they have their own duration. Maybe the first stage is going to take us 4 weeks. The second stage is going to take us 1 week. The third stage is going to take us 1 week. And the last stage also 1 week. As the case might be, you just distribute the entire time or the entire duration. Then the next page you need to have is your project terms. What are the terms of conditions? That is cancellation during the project suspension. You have the right to suspend your project if the client is doing anyhow. But you have to cover that in your in your contract so that it gets to understand before you move on. And then when you're done with the project terms, you go to the word ownership and copyright. That is, you're working on an identity system. How do they trademark it? What are the legal documents you need to provide them? Are you going to help them to trademark what? Their logos, or you're not going to do that? For example, I do that for my clients. So I always let them understand, I'm going to what? Trademark this particular logo, but you're going to pay for that separately. Or else, you might want to do that by yourself. We'll talk about that when we get there in this course. So we'll go to the next one, which is the big sign off. So the big sign off, your clients already read everything down to the last part. So if they sign and send back to you, that means they agree with your terms and conditions and you guys are happy to jump on the project. So what's the next thing you do at this point? You send them the first invoice. Once you send them the first invoice and they respond back to you by sending you what? The receipt, or give you a confirmation that the money has been paid, then you're ready to jump to the next phase of the project, which is the discovery part of the project. But before we go into the discovery part of the project, I would like to ask you questions. Do you notice that this particular contract was structured in line with how we make our sales call? That is, we start from the budget, followed by the timeline, and pack it up with the scope. That is how you should get your what? Your sales call done, and also your contract. I hope you get this now. You don't want to work on a project and have what? The mindset like, will I get paid? Will they pay this amount? Money should not be part of what you are thinking when you're working on the project. You get where I'm coming from. And also, you don't want to disappoint them. For that reason, you know the duration. And that helps you to understand the scope of the project very well. As long as those things are not yet to bother you, you focus on the job. So see you guys in the next one, where we are going to talk about the discovery part of this course. See you in class.